All right. And we're back. Would someone care to refresh us of what happened last time on Dungeons That Drag On?
I did it last time, so let's go, Jonah.
I honestly don't remember what happened.
Great start. All
Good.
right.
So how about Nate?
So, Vezila's brain has been thoroughly scrambled, and so he's chilling in his cousin's bakery, and we were looking for more evidence about where the brain crab came from, or whatever it was.
Dog.
And you got in more trouble, Slugger. You got arrested again for punching because you confessed in front of everybody that you murked that guy. Am I forgetting anything? Those are kind of the highlights.
I mean, you guys
Oh
met
yeah,
a
we
new
met
friend.
another dude. Yeah, Tidibris, which is a crazy obsessed dude that he doesn't know what he's looking for.
Right, and he was talking about the labyrinth.
Oh, did you
Yeah.
pick that on purpose?
No, I didn't. I just realized that that's like
Yes, yes. So, where last we left off, I believe you guys were just heading back to your various abodes. I think most of you guys were crashing at Slugger's office to sleep for the night before you have to hit up bright and early to head back to Boren's Blades to continue your community service.
Yes.
I'm under constant surveillance, right?
Yeah, actually, as you wake up in the morning, you get ready. I think did Failsafe stay with you? Pretty sure he did.
we were all talking about the labyrinth.
Right. And Tenebris, where are you hanging out? Are you there? Did you leave? What are you up to? Despite being a criminal, you're the only one here who's not currently under criminal charges.
Yes. So I was with them.
Okay, cool. So as you
I
guys
have to sleep on the floor.
yeah, as you guys get ready to leave, when you open the door of your private detective agency, Slugger, you notice that it is not Arvel who greets you today. It is a different man. A short, dwarvish man who looks very grumpy.
Who are you?
He just stares blankly.
Wave my hands over his eyes to see if he's even awake.
He kind of like groans and grumbles for a second. He's like, mm. Then he just like points over in the direction of Boren's.
Yeah. Who's the stiff? I turn to the guys and talk to them.
Uh, have I seen this dwarf before in my life?
No, he's a member of the Sharn Watch. You're not super friendly with the Sharn Watch.
Imagine so. Well, then, I'm just gonna look back, look the dwarf, and then look back at Slugger and just give him a shrug.
I walk towards him and make my way towards Boren's, I guess.
All right.
I step over the
I don't
dwarf.
believe I know
and
that
walk
you
on.
guys work at Boren's.
No, you don't. You don't have to go with them, Tenebris. Actually.
Oh yes, the Adventures of Tenebris.
Yeah. So yeah, you can follow them to Boren's if you want, but
I don't want this dwarf to hear. As they're about to leave, I'll call out to them. Wait, where are you going? I thought we were going to search today.
We got a job we gotta do.
Community service.
What could possibly be more important than this? And I gesture into my bag, where I now have our newly acquired item.
Was that a? Do you want that question actually answered? Was that meant of a answerable?
I thought the answer was clear. The answer, nothing. Nothing is better than this.
the
No,
dwarf
I
just
think
kind of grunts.
booze, Sleep.
Both of those are luxuries compared to this. All right.
Freedom.
If we don't go, we're gonna get arrested. and I don't really want to get arrested again.
Suppose you wouldn't be able to be much help then. Fine. Does anyone come in here? And I gestured around the office.
Hell no. Not when I don't have the open sign out.
I'll meet you here when you're done.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna have you guys do. So you guys, you make it to Boren's. Those of you who are going to Boren's, you guys show up, and Boren is like, "Oh, well, hello there. Where's the skinny one?"
Talking about Vezwa?
Yes, that one.
Did we explain this to him?
I feel like we did.
Have you been back to him since? Have you been back to? Have you gone to work since Vezua bit the bullet?
Yeah, because I ran the
Oh,
stand
one.
last time, remember?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
we-
sorry. Then that didn't
yeah, and
happen.
he stole
That
knives.
didn't happen. Right. Okay.
Retcon.
Redcon, he didn't say that. He just says, "Oh, well, top of the morning to you."
I just say, yeah. Go to where I normally work.
All right, so Jonah, you'll be helping out Slugger. You'll be helping out Boren in the smithy, and Failsafe, you'll be working the sales counter. So while we're doing
Get your
this,
suave on.
I'm gonna have you guys. So go ahead, charisma and strength for your checks respectively. Tenebris, what are you
Yeah.
up to?
I'm not gonna stay there all day because that would be boring.
Yes. I figured you
for
might
this-
go do some research or investigate something or I don't know.
Uh,
Whatever it
Why
is that
not
you normally
both?
do.
I don't think there's a normal for this man. So I want to, a bit after they leave, I want to go and try and follow them and just see where it is they're going.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
He's not gonna ask this. He's just gonna try and figure it out.
Oh yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check. You'll probably succeed.
Probably.
Dwarf boy is not
Plus
very
0
perceptive.
wisdom, gang.
Oh, wait. Alright. Oh yes, 24.
Good, because dwarf boy rolled a 3 on his perception check, so he doesn't notice you at
Nice.
all.
I thought I had expertise in that, but it was not so.
You don't have expertise in stealth?
No.
No, you have like
How'd you get a
sleight.
24?
I think you have sleight of hand and deception, right?
I rolled a 19 and I have +5. I had luck on my side instead of
Gotcha.
skill.
You have your expertise in sleight of hand and deception. Memory serves.
It's like hand and arcana.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Makes
Um,
sense.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you see them. Well, you don't see Slugger at first. You see Failsafe working the counter, kind of sitting there waiting for some customers. A few people drive by. Failsafe sells them some knives. You've seen Boren's blades before if you've been in the bazaar. You know, you may not have noticed it, but you've definitely walked past it.
Yeah.
And you don't notice Slugger at first until you hear what sounds like Slugger's voice in the back as he appears to have like accidentally like hit his thumb with a hammer or something, and he's
Which would work because I rolled a nat 1 for my check.
So Jonah. Go ahead and take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
And we're gonna say that you have broken a thumb.
Oh no!
I gotta mark my health for full.
Let's see.
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Boren's a really buff halfling, so he rolled really bad on that damage for his hammer, but he's buff. Failsafe, out of curiosity, what was that charisma roll?
14.
Okay, it's a good day. You sell about what you're supposed to sell. You meet your quota. You don't necessarily go super over quota, but you meet your quota.
So, do I get a sense that they're actually just working at their job right now?
Yes. Nope. They seem pretty accustomed to this. They've done it a few times.
Maybe not me.
Yeah. But yeah,
You know,
Sucking on my thumb.
you don't get any weird vibes about this. You're like, oh shoot, yeah, no, they actually just have day jobs.
Once I establish that, I'm gonna scour around the bazaar and try and find some shop or a place that could maybe give me info or a lead to go on for my search?
Nice. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
The roll was a 7, but what kind of modifier is that? Oh. 12.
12. All right. So you look around the bazaar, and shoot, where is it? Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay. You look around the bazaar, and what did you say the roll was? A 12?
Yes.
It takes you a long while. Like you've been about the bazaar before. You see mostly things are just pretty normal, you know. You see some shops selling like just simple like daily goods. You know, there's plenty of bakeries, food stalls, armor and weaponsmiths, clothing sellers selling glamour weave or other like fancy clothing and stuff. So it takes you a while to kind of weed through all of that. You get to kind of more the area of the bazaar you're looking for. People selling low-level magical trinkets, candles that stay lit for, candles that light themselves and stay lit for as long as you need, or brooms that sweep their own floor, just low-level magical trinkets like that. You see
Right.
a couple of shops run by some gnomish artificers, however you're supposed to actually say that. I always say artificer. Some gnomish artificers making like clockwork toys, little like wind up, like little automatons and other things of that nature. And you see, in this appears to be kind of like a gnomish quarter of the bazaar, where this is like where all of the gnomes kind of gather to hold their stalls. It's like they weren't put here by force; they just kind of all naturally congregated to the same area. And you see a shop. It's actually not too far away, I should say, from Corin's Quill. But you do see a shop. It's not really a shop so much as it is like a stall. And there's like a little like a little storefront with like a tent over it. And in the back of the tent, there's just a huge backpack basically. And there's some stuff on the walls. There's like some charms. Stuff looks like dream catchers and other various magical trinkets. And there's a real shifty looking gnome standing at the counter. You can tell he's shifty because you're shifty, and it takes one to know one.
All right. Well,
Actually, I think you would know this guy, actually. Yeah. Let me, hold on a sec, let me check something. I'm pretty sure you would already know him. Like, you wouldn't, like, be, like, familiar with him, like, on a first-name basis and stuff, but you would know of him.
Okay.
You find that this stall is simply titled Sundry's Shop. Not
Alright.
sundries with like an IES, but sundry as in sundry with a Y apostrophe S. You could assume that the shifty gnome at the counter would be sundry.
All right.
You've played Majora's Mask, right?
I have.
You know the criminal store in Majora's Mask?
Yes.
It's basically that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will. So it's inside the tent.
It's just a little tent. Yeah, it's just a little tent with a storefront. And some random knickknacks and other various goods hanging on the walls.
I will shiftily approach the shifty gnome.
He shiftily notices you as you shiftily approach him. He recognizes your shiftiness for what it is, as he too is extraordinarily shifty. And you approach him and he says, "Oh, what can I do you for?"
I'm looking for anything you have that's how should I put it? Very older artifacts.
And he
Do you
says,
have anything of that sort?
"Ooh, interested in the archaic, are we?"
Yeah, particularly the exotic too.
He says, "Let me look around in the back and see if I've got anything for you. And yes, that's how I'm making Sundry talk for the whole campaign.
Rip your
Scottish Yoda.
voice.
Scottish Yoda, indeed. All right, so
Where was the Scottish in there?
it was there.
Whatever,
It's always there in your heart. Just like Kermit the Frog. What even
We've lost ourselves.
dice do I roll for this? All right, so he's gonna look around.
You don't have a set of sundry dice?
Well, no, I mean like what I had to look at my table. Okay, so he looks around kind of in the back, and he like pilfers. He pilfers through all of his stuff, and he comes back with a device that you're not entirely sure what it is. It looks like a metal crossbow with no string and really small, and it has like gears on the side.
Is this man selling me a gun?
No, you don't know what it is.
All right.
Like
well,
imagine
yeah.
it's like a small metal crossbow but no string, so it's just more like T-shaped, like the arms aren't like bent really. And there's like gears on the side.
Is it just a T-square?
Who knows?
I want to examine this thing.
Go examine
Before
to
I
your
ask him
heart's
what
content.
it is, I want to try and figure out myself what it is.
Okay,
Colt
roll
1911.
roll Arcana for this, I guess.
16.
16. Okay. Well, you asked for something old. You can tell that this is very old. Looking around on it, you don't notice any like defining marks, but you can sense vague magical properties emanating from the steel, though they appear to be dormant. You could guess this to be some device created by some artificer long ago. In your professional opinion, it's at least 200 years old.
All right. Not what I had in mind, but
I want to know what it does.
so I'll look at the intriguing device, and I glance back to him and say, "What is the origin of this?"
He says,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, I look around and you pick things up off the ground out of people's pockets. I didn't say that. I found it. I found it years ago."
I see that does happen.
Finders keepers.
How much
Do you want to buy it?
Yes.
Great, I'll sell it to you for 200 gold.
I look into my bag at my one silver piece. I look back up.
You found
Perhaps perhaps another day.
And he says,
Just run. Just take it
"'Tis
and
a
run.
shame. Truly is a beauty."
Yes, dears, and I will delicately hand back the device to him. But it's not exactly what I came here for. You have something more, See, but they came inspired for something higher up. A bit of art. It's not something made by men, Sarah.
And he says,
You
"Are
know
you
it.
a religious man?"
You could say that.
He like goes over to a pouch and he pulls out an amulet of like literally every religion you've ever heard of across the entirety of the continent. He's like, "One of these would interest you, perhaps."
But he
Wonder
pulls out.
where he got those.
Clarify. He has one amulet for every god, or one amulet for each god.
he has some he has duplicates of, but he has amulets related to every religion, not necessarily
not
every
just-
god.
Okay, so it's not one with
Because, like,
everyone on it.
Because in Eberron is
universal
weird. Like,
amulet.
for example, there's the Sovereign Host, and the Sovereign Host is like a loose pantheon, but you worship you don't worship the gods individually of the pantheon. You worship the Sovereign Host, right?
Right.
Like you don't worship.
council.
Yeah. Or like the Dark Six, for example. You don't worship the Traveler. You worship the Dark Six. You know, they kind of go together.
Yeah.
Nathaniel does have the glove, right? That has the thing on the back of it.
I don't
Yeah,
think have
I
that.
think he has all of the things relating to that.
I do. I wasn't. You guys had it. I just took it.
Yep, you sure did.
So you could flash that to him and be like, anything with this on it?
Brilliant idea. I'm going to say with that. I have 6 I probably would have thought of that.
You probably would have thought of that.
I will reach into the bag and say, how about anything like this? And I hold up the glove.
And he looks at it very closely. And he like grabs it and brings it real close up to his face. And he like pulls out a monocle. And the monocle is comically large. And his eye fills up like the entire monocle, like it's. And he looks at it and he's like, Old. Old this is, yes. Nothing for you here.
If he gets into a Pinto, run.
I
Sorry, would
back,
you like to buy one of these? And he holds up his amulets again. I'll sell them for 5 gold apiece.
look back at my piece. Say, no, there'll be nothing for me today.
And he says, oh, come now, you don't have any galleys to spare.
Well, if you insist, I meant. And I will reach into the bag. And I will grab a handful of sand. Cast sleep on him.
Ooh. Okay.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. All right, so go ahead and roll. What is it?
Pocket sand.
5d8?
Hopefully no one else was in this tent.
Oh, yeah, make a stealth check, so you know. Actually, would this be sleight of hand? I guess this would be sleight of hand, because you're pocket sanding.
20.
Stealthily.
24.
24? Was that sleight of hand or stealth?
That was sleight of hand.
Okay, yeah. No, I think sleight of
It
hand
would
makes
be-
more sense.
If it was stealth, it would be 22.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, wow.
And what did you roll for the sleep?
I haven't rolled that yet. Trying to figure out the dice. Duration 1 minute. 5d8s. I assume he won't have that many hit points. Well, just to be safe.
I don't know. Shifty Summoner maybe ripped.
I rolled 5d8s and got 12.
Really?
Yes.
While he is stouter than your average gnome, that is just enough to put him to sleep.
Thank goodness.
He kind of like woozles for a second and says, gold pieces, and then like falls over onto the ground.
I will quickly.
This is now your store.
Does he have there's like a desk in there or something?
Yeah, there's a storefront. You were standing on either side of it, so you were in the front, he was in the back.
I'll set him on his chair behind. He has one. Does he have a drink?
He did not appear to have one out, but he has like cups around that you could put in his
I'll
hand.
put one of those next to him.
Okay, cool.
And then I will quickly grab that strange device.
That's a really funny device. Are you sure you want it?
I don't know what it is, but I'll take
Can
it.
any of you
Take it,
even
take
any of you even use it?
And I will exit out the back of the tent.
Okay. You didn't want to like rustle around in his sack or anything.
Okay, maybe I'll walk
Or
around.
just take the sack with you.
Just take Sundry's entire store.
It's a big backpack. Just put it on and leave.
I will say, with your knowledge, with your criminal knowledge, you would know that you should probably not like mess with Sundry. Not because Sundry will get back at you, but like Sundry knows people.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would
I
say
probably-
with your actually go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me, Nathaniel, to see if you would in the heat of the moment think of this.
I rolled. No, I still had the 5 dice set when I sleep. I just rolled 5d20. And I was like, oh yes, intelligence check of 80.
Of course.
Plus 3, so 15.
15. Yeah, you remember hearing at some point about a very strange, eccentric gnomish man having some dealings with the Boromar clan.
Well,
That
it's
sounds
too
bad.
late now, so that was.
So just, I mean, do whatever you want. Just know that he may or may not have an arrangement with some
He's got us
half-lifts.
whacked.
Well, I will take the device anyway.
Yeah, of course you will. I want to know if you can even use the device. That's the funny part. Is that I don't even know if you can.
Probably
Oh.
not. I'm not a thief. I can't just like.
Well,
normally
no,
use
that's not the problem. Because paladins and rangers don't have cantrips.
No way.
What?
So Jonah and Nate can't use it. Do you
Is
have?
it a cantrip gun?
Do you have cantrips, Nathaniel?
I do.
Do you have any of them that are like attack cantrips?
I have told the dead.
That won't work with this gun.
I can change spells. I'll figure it out
Well-
later. I'll take it and run. Well,
The
not run.
thing we have to remember is that we own it now. It's ours. So that's a victory.
I mean,
we found
he
for
was
us.
trying to sell it for 200 gold pieces. So you,
I already pocket sanded him. I have to go.
Hey, you could just say, "Oh, I thought he said gold dust."
I've expended my pocket sand. I must go. All right, we're gonna say that actually took most of your afternoon, Nathaniel, to find Sundry's shop.
Alright. I want to make it back there
And to
before
sleep
they
him.
left, though.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
no, before they arrived.
Yeah. So you're just back at the place.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I'm
I
gonna
was
have.
sitting in Jonah's chair, my feet on the desk, twirling
Here's what I'm
around
gonna have
this-
you guys do. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna have you guys time lapse through the next couple of days. So if you guys don't mind, what I'm just gonna have you do is I'm gonna have Jonah and Nate, both of you, make 2 checks that you would normally make when working for Boren, and then Tenebris make 2 investigation checks.
I will spend 48 straight hours trying to figure out what the heck this is.
Well, no, you can sleep in between. I'm just saying for the next 2 days, we're basically gonna do the same thing. I don't want to waste too much time on it, so we're gonna kind of time lapse through it.
Investigation?
Yep. So tell me what everyone got for the first day, starting with Nate.
19.
19. Okay, business is booming. It's a good day. 12.
Business is booming.
Yeah. Okay, you successfully don't break another thumb. You can go ahead and heal that
Only had
HP,
2 of
Jonah. You
those.
can heal that HP. I will say your thumb
Okay,
is
good.
your thumb is still broken. You've kind of wrapped it. You've extra wrapped your MMA wraps around that one thumb and kind of put it in like a makeshift splint. It is still
I'm
broken.
sure he's used to breaking his fingers.
Yeah, it is still broken, but yeah, you grew up literally boxing, so I'm pretty sure broken fingers are something you're rather accustomed to. So yeah, you'll be fine. It won't like seriously impair you in any way. It's just a minor inconvenience, honestly.
Good.
Not Vezua. Tenebris investigation.
16.
16. Okay. Upon you start looking around the bazaar and trying to find any traces of this strange symbol. You don't get anything explicitly about it. You do hear about a murder though.
Mm,
Moya.
Yes.
that would catch my ear.
Yes, you hear about a murder, and you don't it's just some people that are walking around, so you don't get to hear too much out of them. But the only clue you get is a nasty gash in the back of his head.
Mm.
Oh.
I'm missing something here.
Great.
I'm gonna have everybody roll for day 2.
Rain dog.
I got a 6.
6. Ooh. It's not a good day. You don't know what's wrong, but people are just not wanting to buy your knives today. You're trying every piece of salesman technique that you've read in the past week you've been doing this. You just can't seem to get it right today. Something about your robotic attitude is just really turning off the customers right now.
People, man.
The
What
worst.
century is it? Wake up.
All right, Slugger.
14.
14. It's another fine day's work. And Vezua, or not Vezua, Tenebris. Sorry, investigation.
Rip.
6, but it was a natural one.
You don't find anything related to your weird, crazy abilities.
Do I figure out the specifics of how
Anything
my
unrelated?
metal T thing works?
Oh, do you want? Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check and try to figure out what it does. I guess you could take that around to some people and ask them about it.
I seeing as I just stole it
Take
from
it
that
back to that one
Well,
dude.
but you don't know if anybody knows that Sundry even had it. So you could like take it, but you remember seeing an artificer shop in the bazaar, so you could like ask them what it does.
I will
back to
do
Sundry.
that
Like,
because
yo, what is
I.
it?
6 plus-
All right, so you find an artificer's shop. Run.
Okay, so actually, it was 13.
Oh. How?
Because expertise.
Ah, right. For Arcana.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So you definitely feel like it's supposed to be a projectile weapon of some kind, but you're not entirely sure how or what it is. Although I will say, if you would like to attune to it, you can.
I'll do that.
Yep. So I'm not sure how the heck this is gonna work with your abilities, but I'll go ahead and say, if you attune to it, you could surmise how it works. How the heck this is gonna work with your cantrips, I have no idea. I'll go ahead and tell you
My
this.
cantrips aren't locked in certain schools, so I can change them to something that would work better.
Okay. Well, because what this device is called is it's called a spell slinger.
All right.
It doubles the range of cantrips that you cast out of it,
Toll of Dead has a range.
but it's not a projectile. So like,
Extra loud dong.
like you're supposed to it's supposed to work for like firebolt or like ray of frost or stuff like that, or like acid splash. You like load it into the spell slinger and it like uses magic to like fling the spell extra
So
far.
now I just have a magic sound gun.
Dubstep gun, yeah, sure, that works. Yeah,
But
it
actually kills you though. It does like death damage instead.
does necrotic damage, yeah, if it's told to dead. So.
Yep.
So yep, that saving
Does
throw.
it only work for damaging cantrips?
Cantrips, it doubles the range of cantrips.
I can launch my invisible mage hand at this thing.
I suppose if you really wanted to. Also, your mage hand isn't invisible. It's just
I
stealthy.
can make. Pretty sure it's invisible.
No, that's like a GIF thing.
It's a mystic thing.
It's a mystic thing and a GIF thing. Yours, you can just like
What isn't a mystic thing?
you just have mage hand ledger main. You can cast it as a bonus action.
Yeah, I can use it during my cunning action. When you cast
you-
mage hand, you make the spectral hand invisible.
Oh.
You can perform the following tasks. with it.
Gotcha. So yeah, I guess if you wanted to fire your mage hand at somebody, you could.
It's gonna look stupid to everybody else, but I'll
Yeah.
take it.
So it's called a spell slinger, and it doubles the range of your cantrips.
Nice.
Yep.
Alright, well, that was an event.
The most useful item
That'd be
to give
fun
to
for
a party
warlocks.
full of barely any spellcasters.
There's fighting styles where you can take cantrips. I know both of you need that current fighting style.
Yeah. They added those in Tasha's. There's one for paladins that gives them 2 cleric cantrips, and one's for rangers that gives them 2 druid cantrips, which is pretty sick.
I did not take that though.
Yeah. Because then I guess if you took like fighting initiate, you could get the. I don't know. There's some wacky stuff you can do with those fighting styles. Anywho, so at the end of your 3rd day now of work, you guys are closing up shop for the day. Tenebris, you've figured out or what this thing is roughly. You're like, I guess this amplifies the range of magic. So that's a thing. That's pretty cool.
Alright.
Not necessarily that useful, but it's cool, I guess. But at the end of your 3rd day, that dwarf guy Jonah starts walking back with you guys to your house. And I guess Tenebris, you would be in the house already, or are you also coming back? Were you out and about investigating?
Well, the investigations didn't go well that day. There.
Okay. So you're already in the house, so you don't notice this per se. But when you come back to the house, you actually find Arvel standing outside your door. The dwarf guy just looks at him and nods, and the dwarf guy leaves, and Arvel's kind of leaning against the door with his arms crossed, and he just points at the door and says, "Mind if I come in?"
Go ahead.
And he comes in with you guys. And Tenebris, you would recognize Arvel because he was with Slugger when you first met him.
Right.
So Arvel sits down. He's like, ah, good. I was hoping you'd be here. I'm gonna. I don't know. Do I have a song for this?
Music time.
I will cut to here. Future me. This is where I cut to. All right. As you guys sit down around the table with Arvel, Arvel looks at you guys and he says, "All right. So, after that little incident we had back in that alley, you remember we got, because of him, we got attacked by those guys with the weird knives with the labyrinth on it. So, I, believe it or not, did some digging into you guys' brain dog story. And, funnily enough, we've been getting some reports of some murders throughout Dura. And there doesn't really seem to be a pattern in victim selection. The common thread is that all of the victims have died to a large gash in the back of the head, and when they're found, no brain. Gone.
It was the brain dog.
We don't really know what to make of it, so I put a few words in, some of my higher-ups, and I've got them to edit you guys' sentence a little bit. You see, community service is a very broad charge, and I thought it might be nice for you guys to serve the community by putting a stop to this string of brain dog murders.
Finally.
Luckily,
I don't want to-
Slugger's a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
knew
fail
that.
safe.
And here's, I tell you what, to sweeten
As
the
we
deal
say
a
in
little
his
bit.
detective office.
To sweeten the deal a little bit, I've got him to sign off on this. One, this will fulfill your sentence. If you guys can clear this, you have served your time. Two, we've got some papers pending. If you guys can put a stop to these, permit you guys, I'll get you a ticket to Dragonspires. I know you guys wanted to go have a talk with House Jarasco. I can get you a ticket in if you guys take care of this for us.
All right.
All
Now
right.
you're talking my language.
All right, very nice. You guys will probably want to head up to the regional guard post. We've got some evidence that you private contractors, I suppose, may want to take a look at.
And this is investigating the brain running around. You want us
Yeah.
to find the source of that?
Yeah. Put a stop to it. Kill the brain. Bring it in. Do what you will.
I have to remember not to touch it.
10 feet.
Yeah. From what these victims look like, it doesn't look like touching it would be too good of an idea.
Luckily, I can stand even far away now.
What?
I go over and I grab my bow.
What
I put it
are
on my back.
Okay, I don't have any ranged attacks. I have a lot of smites.
Nate, if you
well.
can hit it with a smite, you could probably kill it in one hit.
Also, I don't have a brain.
That is true.
True enough. Yeah.
That is true. You do not have a brain.
Can't eat the brain if it ain't there.
If I only had a brain.
All right. Sorry, I've spent so much time practicing my friggin' Irish accent. I just slip into it subconsciously now. So are you guys going to accompany Arvel back to the regional guard post?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
He's
Yes.
coming with
I
us.
grab my belt off of my wall and I tighten it around my coat.
Gotcha.
Spell slinger stored.
Which we still don't
Yeah.
know exists.
It's like a metal hand crossbow, but a little bit larger. It's like somewhere between a hand crossbow and a light crossbow. Like you should probably still hold it with two hands,
Yeah.
just to be safe. But yeah, okay. So you guys,
Yeah, rapier on the belt, and I wanted to have like replenished
yes.
a little coin purse.
Your pockets and.
And you're one silver piece.
Gotta love the pocket sand. Okay, so you guys go ahead and go to the regional guard post with Arvel, and he brings you actually to a room that just has like a table on it with a bunch of basically bodies covered in blankets, and they have like what appears to be like their physician there. It's for the autopsies. And Arvel comes in and he's like, I've got him. You guys, this is Dr. Skylar Rowan, and he's our physician here at the guard post, so he handles all of our autopsies for investigations when we have stuff like this go down. So, Skylar, if you would, just let him see it. And he's like, okay, boss, sure, whatever you say. And so he's gonna throw the blankets back, and before you are two bodies. Actually, no more than that. There's like 4. Okay. 2 of them are wearing very like priestly robes. They look like religious types. They like aren't super muscular, so like they don't look like they were. Their bodies don't look super beaten or bruised. There's not really much sign of struggle. The only injury they have is a large, clean split in the back of the head from the base of the neck to the crown of the head. And you can see that they have no brain. It's not even a lot of blood. Like, that's the weird part. It just looks like their skull just kind of like popped open in the back.
It hatched.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
So there's two very like priestly looking men. There's a Kalishtar, who just looks to be like a normal, average, middle-class Kalishtar citizen. Although he's wearing like he looks like pretty middle-class. Yeah. And then there is a rather shabby-looking guy who had like a long beard, and he's just a human, but he's kind of shabby-looking, brown hair, human. Looks like he hadn't looked like he traveled a lot. He was really like dirty. He like those clothes look like they'd been worn a lot. So a man who travels quite a bit, and he also him and the Kalishtar both same wound, same just popped open in the back of the head.
I'm gonna turn to the doctor and say, "All right, I'm gonna need 2 small glass beakers and a scooping tool."
What the heck do you need that for?
I take out my now empty wine bottle that has the brain juice in it, and I set it on the table.
And he's like, "You drink that?"
Oh no, this is evidence. Need to compare these things, compare and contrast, you know.
And he's like, I'll go. Oh, 1 second. And he leaves, and he comes back. He comes back with 2 like kind of like test tube looking things, with like cork stoppers and just like a syringe. And he's like, "Will this work?"
Yeah, that should work. So I take those, I set them on the table, and I stick the syringe into the skull and try to take out some of that brain juice.
Okay, where in the skull?
Like near the base where the brain juice would be the most.
Okay, the insides of the skulls are actually relatively dry. Like there's not a lot around there.
I check around the wound.
Yeah. You could get a little bit of the fluid that the brain normally floats in.
Yes, the Doctor Smuggler.
Smuggler, Dr. Slugger, yes.
Slugger.
You could do that for all of them.
I squirt the accumulated juice into one of the beakers, and I try to empty the juice from my wine bottle into the other.
Yeah, you can do that. I'll let you do that. Yeah, you could collect that relatively easily.
I look at both of them.
Make
I
a
try to see the
medicine check.
differences.
Make a medicine check,
Okay.
please.
Oh, good. That's whiz. Let's do that. These are going to dice chill. That was a nat 1.
So the thing is, you're not a doctor. You're not a doctor. You're a detective and a boxer. So you're not.
And a mediocre one at that.
Yeah, you're not really familiar with like medical science. they both look kind of the same, and you come to conclusion that that means they must be the same.
I'm gonna be like, hey, doctor, I need to ask a favor of you guys.
Sure. What?
Are these two things any different?
He's like,
I hand him the juice cups.
he's like, I mean, it appears to be the kind of fluid that the brain is suspended in. What specifically are you looking for?
Any abnormalities, different than normal brain juice, you know, of an average brain?
Well, I mean, maybe if we had a court necromancer, he could tell you, but we're a bit short on those unless you want me to ship it out to Karnath.
How much would that cost?
More than your paycheck that you don't have.
Alright.
And
Do you have
Arvel
any
kind of just
fresh
strokes his
bodies from
chin.
anywhere else?
He's like, Karnath, you say? I know a guy. Might take some time, but I can probably get that out there to you. Here, let me see those. He grabs them and he's like, I'll see what I can do. What was your question, Slugger?
Just to see if they are the same type of brain juice, and if there's any abnormalities to normal brain juice.
Okay. And then did you have any other questions?
I was gonna look at the bodies, so they're all were attacked seemingly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna ask.
They show no signs of struggle. They've received no other injuries. They show no other signs of struggle other than the sudden split in the back of their skull and the absence of a brain. Additionally, you can see that the priestly men were from like a higher class section of the city. The shabby guy probably looks like he was from a lower class of the city, and the Kalishtar looks like an average, ordinary, working class, middle class citizen. So
Looks
Need to follow its
it's been
tracks.
going all over. Is this the same wound that you two experienced?
Well, I punched a guy's brain out. Not really sure what to say about that.
Yeah, we did. You didn't really see that, I guess, to compare.
Whatever happened to the guy that Jonah punched his body?
his body, well,
Yeah.
his back of his skull split open and the brain flew out, and it had legs.
Right, but where did his body go?
His body?
With his... Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Brain.
never stopped to look.
Guess we could ask the coroner.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think that's really... I mean, it's probably the same... Looks the same as these guys.
I mean, that was in pretty lower
Yeah.
Dura. They could have taken care of it themselves. He's probably buried already.
Let's get out the shovels.
been a few days.
You're gonna exhume a guy that you killed?
No, I don't think...
Is there any,
I don't think we need that question answered, really.
especially since we're sending this off to Karnath?
Yeah, but that
To
is
get
likely to take
compared-
weeks. Or if he gets it on an airship, but probably not. So, a while.
Okay.
Unless there's a thunder rail that goes from Sharn to Karnath.
Well, do
So it probably isn't.
you have any leads besides that?
And he says, we've done some research about these fellows. These two, and he points to the priests. I have to go back to my notes.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, okay. He looks at you and he says, these two over here, and he points at the priestly types. He says, they were both priests of the Sovereign Host in Hope's Peak. It's up in Upper Dura. This guy, I've looked around about him. He had, to our knowledge, he was just an ordinary librarian in Overlook. You guys would remember that Overlook is actually where Vezua's cousin lives, Dadrith. He lives in Overlook. It's actually a largely Kalishtar community.
Right.
So yeah, he was a librarian in Overlook. Those two were priests of Hope's Peak. You've never been to Hope's Peak, and this guy actually just got home. He'd been out of Sharn for a long time, but we have his registry, like his travel papers. He had just come back from, looks like, and he like pulls out like a bit of paper that's like that guy's kind of like travel records. Looks like he was coming from the Shadow Marches actually, and he's down from Broken Arch.
You have any idea what he did for a living or anything like that?
I want to say he was a historian or an archaeologist or something.
It means all these guys had something to do with books. Really brain smart type guys.
When were all these bodies discovered? All at the same time or over the course of the past?
No, it's been a bit of a slow drip. The priests we found, the priest actually, this one, and he points to the one on the left. He's like, this is actually the most recent one we found. The other priest is the first one we found. I didn't even know about this until I started asking around. The higher ups didn't even bother telling most of us about it. They've been keeping it pretty quiet, but this has been happening over the past couple of weeks.
And so when was it that Jonah murked that guy and we found him at the bar?
4 days ago.
Okay. And when was the most recent body?
He says, oh, this one we found actually this morning.
Where was that one at?
It was up in Hope's Peak in the Temple of the Sovereign Host.
I guess we need to go visit there and ask, who found the body?
All right. So you guys heading to?
Jonah? Caleb?
Yeah.
Who found the body?
Who found the body?
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
the temple staff. They came in for morning services and just found him.
I don't
Well,
suppose you
yeah.
have names for who found them.
Yeah, I do actually. It was an elvish chap actually named Galen.
You have any idea where he would be?
Probably still up in Hope's Peak. Temple staff. He's an acolyte at the Temple of the Sovereign Host.
Perhaps
Well, fellas?
we visit this Hope's Peak. Stay around there
Yeah.
for a while. It's a brain with legs. It can't get very.
From what I saw, it's pretty little legs.
Is Hope's Peak is it actually like a peak? Like,
No.
could you easily create a perimeter around it or something? I don't know.
So Hope's Peak is in Sharn is divided up into multiple plateaus that all have like bridges between them. Hope's Peak is part of Dura, but it's like Upper Dura. Hope's Peak is on like the top of Dura, but it's like its own like kind of subsection. It's up there with Overlook. Actually, it's up there with Overlook, High Water, High Hold, Dagger Watch, and Cliff Top as like the sections of Top Dura. Hope's Peak. Jonah, you would probably know the most about this actually because you've lived in Sharn the longest. Hope's Peak is a recent kind of project that Dura has been working on. They've been relocating a lot of the old temples from the Fallen District. They've been kind of building up a new shrine and temple district in Hope's Peak. Fallen was where all of the temples and shrines in Dura used to be. They call it Fallen because that district like collapsed, like it fell over. That's why they call it the Fallen District. And so people don't often go there anymore, but that's where all like the old ruined temples and shrines are. So they're building new ones up in Hope's Peak, and it's actually a fairly recent project, just over the last few years.
All right.
To try to rekindle some religious ability in the Dura plateau.
And turn to the guys and say, well, fellas, looks like we're going to church.
Gotta find this Galen.
Yes, Galen.
An elf. Elf, right?
Elf. Yes, an elvish chap named Galen.
Right.
All right, so yeah, you guys, you head up towards Upper Dura, and you head to the district of Hope's Peak, the Temple District. Uno momento. You guys have caught me sleeping on my music game. All right. So you guys come forth and you see there's just like this is a very nice section of the city. It's very newly made. It's very nice. Very fancy. Like everything here looks expensive. There's lots of gold and silver and gemstones and stained glass windows, and it's really nice looking. There's temples and shrines everywhere. You can see stained glass windows that are depictions of the symbols of the various religions. You can tell that most of these shrines, like the dominant religion here is the sovereign host. So you can see there's kind of like a big temple that has the logo of the sovereign host on it, and then there are like smaller shrines to each of the individual deities from within the sovereign host, but they all kind of accumulate to that one large temple. The other notable temple in the area is there's just like a building that is stylized with silver and blue accent designs, and in the garden out front there's just like a brazier with like a big silvery blue flame burning out in front of it.
Well, I'm gonna go up to the door and just knock on it.
Which of what?
The big one.
The sovereign host? Yeah. You would have some exposure to the sovereign host. You would know what it is. All of you would know about the sovereign host. It's the dominant religion of Corvair.
Right.
It's kind of like it's the biggest one, and you could surmise that the one with the big flame in the foyer is a temple of the silver flame, which has a presence at least everywhere, even if it's not dominant everywhere. Pretty much everywhere that's a big city has some temple to the silver flame.
Don't I have a helmet from a Templar?
Of the silver flame? Yes,
that
you do.
religion?
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. You punched it off his head in the war. Yes.
Good times.
Yeah, that's Jonah's trophy.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go.
He has
I'm
like
gonna go
a
up
he
to
has
the
a
door and
memento
beat
of
on it.
war from a soldier background, and his is a helmet from a dude who punched it off his head. Anyways, yeah. So you go up to the temple of the sovereign host. You like knock on the door, and it just like swings open.
I'm gonna peep in.
Yeah.
Where's everyone at?
It's like marble floors, right? High stained glass windows. It's like a cathedral. Like it's dope. It looks like an old like Gothic style cathedral. You walk in and some acolytes come to the front, wearing kind of just like robes with like cord belts tied at the waist that have the emblem of the sovereign host emblazoned on the front. And they say, "Excuse me, can we help you, gentlemen?"
I'm looking for an elf named was it Ben Gay? No, Galen. Galen.
Ah, Galen. Let me see if I can fetch him for you. Please, wait here a moment. And one of the two stays. She appears to be a young human girl, and the other was just another human dude. He kind of leaves back into the back of the temple and is going to look and find Galen for you. This music is way too intense for this situation, but it's such a banger. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
I tap my foot impatiently, and it's really loud.
It is very loud
Clang, clang, clang.
on the marble
It
floors
goes through the whole.
in the large vaulted cathedral. All right.
I lean up against the wall.
There's actually pillars. If you want to lean up against a pillar.
Yeah, I'll lean up against the pillar in the shadows.
Edgy. All right. Ow, the edge. So a few minutes later, the human guy comes back with an elf wearing the same kind of acolyte robes, walking at his side. He's a pretty tall elf, appears to be pretty young for an elf, but I mean, young for an elf can be like 65, so you know. He's young for an elf. He looks to be pretty young, and he's got like long blonde hair kind of pulled back. And he steps forward and he says, "You were asking about me?"
Yeah, we were investigating whatever killed that priest that we found. Well, actually, you found, and we'd like to ask you some questions about it.
Oh,
I want to vibe check him and make sure he's not possessed.
Oh, you mean Brother Quinn?
Yeah, the one that was missing a brain and had a big old hole in the back of his head.
Yes, describe the injury more and more.
We're not being very compassionate, are we?
No, we're
like,
really
yeah,
not.
He's
So what was that roll, Nate?
oh. Ooh. Bad.
Insight? What is it?
Bad.
What is it?
Bad.
What's your wisdom modifier?
He sure does appear to be
Bad.
religious.
Should I vibe
I
check
just
him?
lean in real close.
You can't raise an eyebrow. You don't have any.
I don't.
Metal plates on his face just shift upwards.
All right. Are you vibe checking, Slugger?
Yeah, let's see. That's a insight, right?
Insight to vibe check.
Ooh, that's a dirty 20.
After having seen a few people who've been kind of weird from the brain magic, you don't think that this guy is affected by it. You're reasonably
I
sure
look
that
behind
he's
him
clean.
where his. I look behind him where his hair's been pulled back. See if there's any juice.
There's just like a hole in his.
Yeah, no, he appears to be totally fine. Also, there's no entry
Okay.
wound from the brain dogs. They teleport inside of people's heads.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna
it's
And
when
they
they hatch. It makes a
explode
thing.
out.
It's only an exit wound, yeah.
Why can't they just teleport out too?
Because it's less dramatic that way, Nate. Come on.
But it would make them survive a lot better.
It would. It would.
'Cause-
Unfortunately for brains, they're not that smart.
They only get one teleport per brain they eat, so they can either use it to get into.
No, I'm pretty sure they only have an intelligence of like +1 at the max. Which is funny
Yeah,
because
they're
they're
kinda dumb.
literally brains.
just not very
Smart
good
brains.
ones.
Uh,
I have a brain, but that doesn't mean I'm smart.
Big truth. All right. Yeah. So he says, yes, I reported Brother Quinn to the Sharn Watch as soon as I found him this morning. I was coming in to get ready for the morning prayers, and Brother Quinn was just collapsed in front of the altar with a big old split in his head, and I thought the best thing to do would to be immediately report it to the authorities.
Can you take us where this was?
Good. Good.
Yes, sure. It's just
Yeah, what he
right
said.
this way. So he kind of leads you over to like a large like a room where it's not like the largest room. It's not like a service room. It's like a small kind of chapel where they do prayers to the sovereign host. And there's just like a small altar at the front of the room, and you can see there's just like a little bit of a blood stain on the ground right in front of the altar. And that's where he was.
I go down and I sniff it.
It smells like blood. But fancy
I
blood.
try to look to see if there's blue blood.
uh,
So I look at it and I try to see if there's any like tracks from brain paws.
Roll survival.
Moments like this make a ranger awesome.
This is
Ooh.
kind of what
Actually,
Rangers
wait.
do.
Six to that.
while he's looking around for the tracks, I'll ask Galen, does this all look just as you left it this morning?
And he says, yes, I can't notice anything out of place here.
I rolled an 18.
An 18. So, you immediately tell everybody to get off the carpet. As you move, you can see that, when people step on a rug or on a carpet, like the fibers of the carpet kind of shift back or forth when people step on them. And so with your 18 survival, you Sean Spencer the crap out of this rug on the ground. And you can see some footsteps. It looks like a four-legged creature with small, like, kind of cylindrical legs walking away from the body. Or from where the body was found.
I just like, and I point at it and I start following it.
You start following the tracks.
I would go after as well. So I don't
Okay.
see the tracks. I just see Jonah.
Okay. Jonah,
It's over
remind...
pointing.
Did I tell this song to repeat? I did. Good. Good. Sorry. Okay. So you get to where the carpet stops and it goes back to marble floor, and it's gonna be pretty hard to track this thing across marble floor. So now that you know kind of what you're looking for, though, I'm gonna have you to go ahead and roll survival one more time with advantage.
Okay.
Remind me,
there's
Jonah,
advantage.
you have expertise in something.
It's survival.
Okay, I thought so.
Is that from the mark?
No, it's from Variant Ranger feature. Kenny.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So you can kind of see like little like droplets of brain fluid. Just for your clarification, this is not fluid from the brain. This is the fluid in the skull that the brain is suspended in. So it's more viscous. Like it's not like watery. It's kind of like gelatinous almost, and that's why you could kind of see it. So you could guess that the brain creature isn't producing this fluid itself. This is just like leftover brain fluid that it's tracking with it out of the heads of its victims. So yeah, you find some traces of it leading kind of off, which you can follow, but it will eventually lead out of the temple. And it's very faint. This is like one of the most difficult tracking jobs you've ever done.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. So, do I just follow it to the door and then it goes outside?
You do. Outside, it's going to be stupidly hard to find this. So I'm not going to say that you can follow exactly where it went. But you can see the direction of the last thing, like in the direction that it was going. You could see it's going back towards the way that you guys came from, actually. Going back, it looks as if it's going either back out of Hope's Hope's Peak, and perhaps back down lower into Dura.
There is one imposter among us. I think it might be Dwarf Man. He wasn't speaking.
I don't think that's it. Maybe.
Maybe I was just too lazy to come up with a name for Dwarf Man.
Or a voice.
Maybe I've done too many Irish dwarves and I didn't want to do another one, but I couldn't think of a better dwarf voice.
So I stop at the last brain juice droplet, and I point and I say, "It went out that way."
You're just pointing to the rest of the city.
But now we know it was leaving whatever this place is, Hope's Peak. So it's probably not one of these priest dudes. You're safe, kid. And I point towards Galen.
I was under investigation?
Yep.
Oh, praise the
Everyone's
host.
always under investigation.
Unless you're a Warforged and you don't got a brain.
Yeah, honestly, it could be Tenebrous. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. Maybe I should knock on his head, see if it feels hollow.
No, but the brain would still be in there. It would just be a legged brain.
You might rustle around a little bit.
Pretty sure
I'm vibe checking both of you. Both of you are getting vibe checked right now. Alright, that's a 3 for Jonah. And a 17 for Tenebrous.
Failsafe, as far as you're concerned, it could be literally any human. You're slowly losing trust in all humanoid races. Only other Warforged are clean. And you know what I feel like this is a great time for?
What?
Tenebrous' head to split open and a brain dog to come out.
I feel like this is a great time for Nate to introduce our sponsor for this episode while I go get a glass of water.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the sponsor of this episode? You may have noticed. The sponsor for this episode is... Oh, that's...
He's gone. He won't be able to hit the stream button.
Alright, fellas.
Oh, no.
Here's the sponsor of this episode. Welcome to Blue Apron. Alright, so Blue Apron Inc. is an American ingredient recipe meal kit service that exclusively operates in the United States. You can call them here. You can learn about their CEO here. You can use our awesome link. Are you ready for this? BlueApron.com/please give them your money on our behalf. Please. Just use that one code. You'll get 8,000 meals for free, guys. Be sure to smash like. Thank you so much, Blue Apron. Are truly a G. You can really just call them right here. Please call them.
Call them right now and tell them that we sent you.
Right?
'Cause
Jonah,
money.
what's your experience with Blue Apron? What do you think of them?
Oh, every day I wake up thinking about, oh man, I can't wait to get my Blue Apron meal. I go to the door, and there's a dude in a blue apron holding my meal, and I grab the meal and I go to my my dining room table and I dig in, and it's always the best meal I've had. Last week it was the teriyaki chicken. It was the highlight of my week.
I can't believe
That's
how
true.
long you guys have been going on this bit for.
Just look at what you could be. Look at what you could look like. You could look like them. See how happy they are? That could be you. Thank you. What's your Blue Apron?
I see that guy with the gray hair. You could be as happy as him.
So it's at this point, as you guys make it back down to the bazaar, that you see a guy in a blue apron behind a stall serving food.
No way! Does he have teriyaki chicken?
Yes, he does, and it smells
Does
delicious.
he look like the guy?
This is about to be the highlight of our weeks, guys.
I don't eat food though. That's not fair.
You
You're
can.
gonna have to learn
You
how.
can eat food.
Just have to expel it later, like the
Like,
rest
it's
of
as
us.
good as Blue Apron.
Ooh.
Alright, I think that's enough of that.
Need a drink of water after all that. Ooh. Oh boy, that was pretty good. Ooh.
Wait, is he there?
Caleb, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I was changing the music.
Oh, okay.
It takes like
I was
three.
making sure.
It takes like 3 typing commands to get the music to where I want it to be, you know. So
Grief. Isn't there something like with Spotify, the listening party or something?
only if all of you have Spotify Premium.
Which I think only 2 of us have.
Me and you do.
I don't have Spotify at all.
Exactly.
Google Play Music.
Friggin' Nate and his Google Play. All right. Anywho, you guys are heading out of Hope's Peak. You don't have to go back to the bazaar, but you could tell that the brain appeared to be leaving Hope's Peak.
Hoax peep.
Hope's Peak, yeah. So you can either look around Upper Dura some more, or head back down to Middle, or even Lower Dura, to continue your investigating.
Do you think we should go, guys?
So, what, Lower Dura or places around here?
Yeah, literally all of Dura is open for Do you need me to give you an itemized list of every district in the entire Dura Plateau?
No. But
I
I
can
have
do
some
that.
deducing to do.
I have.
Let's see, the most recent dude was the priest. He's in Upper Dura.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys were from Middle to Lower Dura, you know. So I'm thinking they're a little older. We should have gotten a timeline on these guys, but I completely forgot. So I'm thinking he's trying to head on up to the top, maybe. That's just my idea.
So
You do recall that he also said the first guy they found was also from Upper Dura. There was 2 priests. The first priest that was dead
Oh.
was from Upper Dura, and then the other ones, and then back to the top.
So that means he's bouncing. Which makes sense that he would go down to Lower Dura. Yeah.
Does that mean he'll come back to the upper to Hope's Peak again?
Perhaps.
After he's killed at least 2 people.
we need bait.
What? We need some capacious craniums?
Nate doesn't have a brain. If only you knew someone who loved books and was really smart.
Wait a minute. I feel like we do. Oh wait! And I turned to Tenebris. I just pointed up and said, "You are now bait."
Well, it was my plan, so yes. So we'll
I've
stay
never
out,
been more happy to be stupid.
stay out in the central area. Two of
Stop
you
talking about how
will-
smart you are.
we
reading
don't have time
books.
for that right now. The 2 of you will hide off in this out of sight. I'm not sure what kind of senses this thing eyes on.
Well, I bet you have to be the smartest person in the area to attract it.
That means we need to go to Lower Dura, where there's not many smart people.
Do you have anything to base that theory off of?
He
That's
grew
where
up
I'm
in
from.
Lower Dura.
No, not. I. They were. I didn't know if this thing went for the smartest.
Do they actually? That sounds like a thing that it would do.
Well, it eats brains, right? They want the most brains they can get.
And all the people that
want
it
the most
has,
brainy
all the
brains,
people
so-
that are victims have had something to do with books or like knowledge, because religion is an intelligence skill, guys. I was just about to type in brain dogs to my freaking bestiary.
We've
They
corrupted
do
you.
have a different name,
Knackle, yes.
Oh yeah.
and they don't rely on. And it doesn't rely on sight.
Well, it can detect
eyes.
intelligence. It can detect intelligent life, but it doesn't necessarily detect the most intelligent.
Well, we don't know that.
We
But
could probably
it
deduce
also doesn't have eyes. So you could theorize that
more
it
of a
doesn't need to
brain
see. So
How long does this last?
Well, wait, we'll do it at night then.
Oh yeah, when there's not many people around.
We'll find an open area where it's bait it there.
Yeah.
So let's go try and find an area like that.
so you guys are heading.
Keep an eye out for brain juice.
So you're heading to Lower Dura,
Yes.
Mid to Low Dura.
mid to Low Dura.
Wherever there's a really open space.
Okay, so you could go. Are you looking for like a residential district or like a specific place? Are you
If I
looking
was a
for like?
brain dog? Where would I
A
go?
location where if you were traveling, you would probably pass through, like some central square.
In Lower Dura.
Is it a town square or something?
It doesn't seem like the kind of central locations.
Yeah, Lower Dura does not have a lot of like high traffic areas, you could say. I guess the closest would be Calliston. There's some businesses there, and there's a lot of criminal activity. Actually, Tenebris, you would be familiar with Calliston because their representatives from the Boromar clan like to hang out there.
The Boromar clan, the halfling gangsters.
Mafia, yes. And any criminal worth his salt in Sharn should know about the Boromar clan. They have a
Alright.
seat on the council.
Ah.
Everybody knows that they're criminals, but nobody can put them in jail.
Like Capone.
Nice.
Yep.
That means you have to watch out for tax fraud.
So you guys are heading for the mob den of Calliston then?
Yep. Good thing.
What
no
time
one
of day
wants to
is
mug
it?
Me 'cause
So you guys have already done your work for the day, actually, and already have done some investigating. So it would be getting on to the evening time.
Okay.
Do you need to know the day of the week?
No, I just wanted to know if
Actually,
we had time.
is it-
we could rest before that, not because
Is
we
it
need
near
to
the
refresh
weekend?
stuff, but
It is, actually. This is the last day of the Eberron week.
So that's
so it's like Sunday.
It's called SAR, but yes.
Okay. So people will be going probably to bed earlier to get up for Monday. That's my idea.
Perhaps.
that would make sense.
maybe.
Perhaps.
If their week works like our week.
Ow,
We
my
want to get
sharpened
there early.
quarter.
What?
You mean you guys don't sharpen your quarters?
No.
What?
Pretty sure that's
I
illegal.
don't-
It's
I
like
don't know what that
facing
is.
currency or something.
Oh,
I
man.
think that's perfectly fine to do.
Just turn your quarters into tiny little ninja stars.
I mean, you give yourself a 25-cent. So
Alrighty.
once
So y'all are heading to Calliston then?
Yeah, and look, searching for some.
I feel like we need some way to amplify your brain waves, and like say, "Hey, Happy Meal right here."
I
know?
have.
I'm smart.
I have an idea. Not to like broadcast my location, but I like to avoid interference from other people.
Mm-hmm.
I can cast an illusion spell so they can't see me, but they could think could still tell because the brain waves or the intelligence seeking. Because it doesn't rely on sight.
Right. So
Right.
wait, you're gonna
I
cast an
look myself.
illusion. You're gonna cast an illusion to do what?
Once we find an area and wait till later at night,
Mm-hmm.
I'll cast silent image around myself to look like the same area.
Oh,
I'm not there.
gotcha. What if?
Ammo.
Okay. So yeah, so you go down to Calliston. You would actually be relatively familiar with this area, Tenebris. Because you do have the criminal background, right? No, you don't have the criminal background.
No, I don't.
But you are a criminal.
Yes.
Okay.
So are we, technically.
Well, technically, yes, you are. You went on trial. Guilty.
Okay. But my point is that you are familiar enough with the criminal underworld to know that this is a mob hideout. Basically.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I hope we don't get stabbed in the back.
Anyways,
the
yeah,
head.
you could find there's like a cafe that has like outdoor like patio kind of seating. It looks really shabby. It's like that crappy plastic outdoor furniture, you know, but it's not plastic because that's not a thing. So it's like termite eaten wood, you know,
Let's see.
like the benches in downtown Siloam in the park before they got fixed and new. Like there's that one that's like missing a
Yes.
board in the backrest.
Yeah.
You know.
It's so you can have an impromptu toilet.
I don't think that was the intention.
But yeah, it's kind of like that. It's wooden furniture, but it's missing a board here or there, just holes in it, rotting a little bit. Some places it's not super sturdy, but yeah,
Graffiti.
it's a relatively centrally located cafe.
Is there a crowd outside right now?
You guys are late enough that people are there for dinner, but they've kind of like already gotten there for dinner. It's not like the rush is coming in; it's the rush has already arrived and dinner's in full swing. But even though the rush is not that much, you know, it's probably like 12 people.
All right.
So, I guess we're all gonna sit around one table and you're gonna illusion yourself.
I was thinking we would wait a bit.
Yeah, you guys have to Batman on some rooftops for a minute.
Yes. Well, are there rooftops or just keep going in this kind of place?
I guess the buildings would just kind of keep going. Oh. Why did it... Stupid music.
Have we determined if the brain dog can hear?
You have not.
Doesn't have ears.
What's the over/under? Yes, no.
Probably not. It's just a brain with legs, no eyes, ears, mouth, nose.
So if we do manage to find it, what are you two gonna do to stop it?
Whack it really
I
hard
take
with
out
my
my bow.
hand.
And an arrow. I test the string on my bow. I'm gonna shoot it. Try to
Lol.
pin it to the floor.
We don't have very much of
You
a plan.
better
Hunter's
hit it.
Mark Zephyr Strike for all the damage.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You
Hunter's
better
Mark
hit it.
Hunter's Mark Zephyr Strike Dread Ambusher is 3d8s and a d6.
I have ways of killing it.
The secret ingredient is crime.
We'll hang out outside until it gets a bit.
All right, yeah. Do you guys want to get some food then?
Oh yeah, we should probably do that.
What kind of food
He
is it?
doesn't have to eat.
The food, it's just kind of simple, like stews. It's Blue Apron. No, not right now. It's just
This
simple,
is more like brown apron.
simple stews and flats like stale bread, like in like a bowl shape. It's like a bread in the shape of a bowl that they put the stew in, so you like eat the stew and then eat the bread.
Did you just say brown apron? Apron?
Jonah did, yeah.
All right,
No, that's a-
brown apron. Okay.
But yeah, so it's just kind of like
Because
simple
this is the
stews.
shabby place.
It's very cheap too. So a meal here is 2 crowns.
Which is a copper, right?
Yes, a crown
I
is a
can
copper.
pay for that.
You can. You have the equivalence of 10 crowns.
I'm not going to,
Okay.
but I could. But I
Just
won't.
so you know, guys, that's why the copper piece is called a crown in Corvair, because in Corvair, even the poor have crowns.
Inflation.
Capitalism. Yeah, no, House Cannith is no stranger to capitalism.
Business is booming.
They are borderline war profiteers, just throwing that out there. They're basically Stark Industries.
I know that, but I don't care because they're.
They are cool. They are very cool, and they have the coolest house crest.
Yeah.
They just.
I mean,
do.
the eagle's kind of cool.
The eagle is dope, but the freaking mechanical bull is freaking sick. It is sick. All right, so Slugger, Tenebris, are you guys gonna order some food?
Yeah, I'll get some of that soup.
All right, it'll be 2 crowns apiece. It's not horrible food. It's just not very high quality. Like it, for what it is, it's pretty good. Go ahead while you guys are chilling. All of you make perception checks for me.
Ooh. 22.
12.
15. Can I hold a spell also?
If you would like to, you may. What spell are you holding?
Compel duel.
And you are holding it until.
I see the brain slug.
Okay. Well, you can't. Okay, so you can't hold a spell, but you can hold an action to cast the spell.
Right, that's what I mean. That's
Right.
what I mean.
Yeah. I got you. Because that way you don't end up accidentally like you spend the spell slot to then hold it, and then it's no. I hold the action to cast the spell. So, actually, as you guys are eating, you notice everybody rolled above a 15, right?
I got
Got
12.
a 22.
Oh, well, everybody rolled above a 12. That's fine. That's good enough. Is it good enough, actually? Okay, yeah. You notice... Yeah, for this it is. You guys notice as you guys are eating, a few more people trickle in, and there's one guy who trickles in kind of a little late, and all of you would notice he just, like, he walks with a lot of purpose for someone who's just like hungry and here to eat. Like, he walks down to like a specific table, sits in said specific table, and then like sits and waits like very patiently.
What kind of clothes is this guy wearing?
What kind of clothes is he wearing? He's wearing like soft leather boots and like dark navy blue pants. He's got on like a loose fitting dark linen shirt. Like it looks like a linen shirt that's been dyed either a dark blue or a black or a gray. It's kind of hard to tell from far away, but it's like a dark colored shirt. And who got the highest perception roll? What was the highest perception roll?
I got 22.
22. You would notice with a 22 that you can detect a bulge on the inside of his linen shirt. There's like an open collar at the top, and on the inside of his linen shirt you can detect a slight bulge. You could guess that he is packing some kind of weapon.
Well, to be fair, I just have like a rapier on
Yeah.
the belt.
Yep, you
So-
sure do.
I have trench knives and a bow.
You do.
Hey, Tenebris. How about you walk over there, set the glove on the table, and ask him if he knows anything about that?
I lean over to Slugger, and then I say, you don't just go showing those things to anyone. If you showed them to everyone, then everyone would be after you. Only I can have it.
Trust me, buddy, no one else is gonna want whatever you got.
Why are we even here in the brain? It's after it too.
Brain is different than most people.
Think about it like this. We're smart. We're bringing the brain because everyone else is dumb and won't want your treasure because dumb.
Yeah.
Nate, you want to roll persuasion on that to see how
Why not?
convincing you are?
I am proficient in persuasion.
Do I make insight?
You can make a wisdom save.
Well, I mean, same modifier. -1. 13.
9.
You're not really sure about that logic, but you know.
He seems to be onto something. I don't know. It's- Well, perhaps there's another way to figure out what he's doing besides that.
I just point at him.
At the dude?
Yes. From my table, I just point at him directly.
He's not looking
I
at
hide
you.
my face.
He's not looking at you.
I stand up.
he hears you stand up, and he's like, excuse me, sir, can I help you?
And I look at Slugger and say, and then nod at him, you know,
I stand up slowly and say, excuse my friend, he's a few weeks old.
He's like, okay, can I help
But,
you,
I
like-
man?
I like nudge you in the arm and like,
I stay
We've been
seated.
wondering
I
if
want part of this.
you've been wondering if you've seen anything weird, such as people acting different or a brain with legs.
frankly, sir, the strangest people I've seen all day are you three. And, I'm sorry, did you say brain with legs?
Honestly,
with legs.
specific
Now,
question.
why in tarnation would I have seen a brain with legs?
Well,
well,
we've been investigating these murders.
well, you have a brain and you have legs, so
But I'm afraid I don't quite understand. What?
Well, we've seen a brain with these legs. It's been running around, popping out of people's heads, and we don't know what head it's in, and we need to
Sir,
catch it.
are you okay? Do you need medical attention?
I'm perfectly fine.
Do you need a drink? Have you had too many drinks? What do you
I take
need?
out my empty brain juice bottle and say, I wish I had something.
And he says, "What are you smoking, sir? Because I want some."
I take out my cigar and I say, I do believe it's Goodberry.
He says, "I'm not familiar with that brand, but it must be really something. Is there anything else that you need to ask me, sir? Or can I go back to my dinner?" And he points back to his empty table.
How's your day been?
I do not see why this would be relevant to your investigation.
I just like I give him
sit
the
back down.
I like give him the gesture to come sit with us.
And he says, "Sir, frankly, you intimidate and scare me. I'm not sure I want to sit at a table with the likes of you and your compatriots.
Who is this guy? Forrest Gump?
Maybe."
I just like Put my
I
hand
gesture
down.
for my friends to sit down.
I sit down.
it's like everyone's staring at us now. We're just like
Yes.
shouting across the
Yep.
across the
Why would
room.
they not?
Well, I'm gonna notice everyone's staring and be like, you know what? Has anyone seen some brains with legs?
Everybody kind of like whispers amongst themselves and then collectively like turn away from you guys and sit down.
What about holes in the back of people's heads?
Actually,
Go splits.
Nathaniel, does a 19 hit your armor class?
Probably. Actually, yeah. Why I'm a rogue? How will I have an AC? Yes, it does.
Nice. So as everyone kind of turns around to ignore you guys, because frankly, you guys have weirded them out, Mr. Forrest Gump produces the dagger from within his vest, and he stabs you in the shoulder.
Wait, he stabs me or he like throws it?
No, as he's walking back to his table, he passes by you and shanks you in the back.
I never thought he left. Okay.
You take
I'm gonna
5
jump on
piercing
top of the
damage.
table.
Do I need to roll initiative?
Yes.
Nice.
Uno momento, por favor.
Look what you guys have gotten me into.
And you're the only one that was quiet.
And I'm the one who was acting rational here. It's the opposite of action.
Well, at least we know he's a bad guy, okay? Count
We
our
could pop his
victories.
head open and see if there's something in there. And he started a stabbing.
And
So anyway,
then
I started stabbing.
he started stabbing.
So I'm gonna jump on top of the table and draw my trench knives.
All right, hold on. Okay. I need more dice
Oh no.
It's never a good sentence.
just to
Now
keep,
we're just in general.
just to keep track of my initiative, so I know who goes when. Because if I move my dice, then I'll forget who's who. Good news is these guys
Oh,
are
this
rolling
brain dog
like
music.
garbage.
Same.
These guys?
Oh yeah, you
Are
thought
we
it was
fighting
just
the whole
one?
cafe?
No, not the whole cafe. Although they are still around. Okay. Everybody
They
initiative.
all just turned against.
25 to 20. No button?
I need to roll. Not that. No, not 25.
All right. 15 to 19. Nothing.
Nope.
All right. 10 to 15.
10.
13.
Fail safe. No. Okay. Cool. So Tenebris at 13. Slugger at 10.
I'm at 3. -1 dex save.
Hold on.
That'll do it too.
Okay. You're at 3. Okay. Cool. Just give me a second.
Or Forrest Gump, we're gonna have to kill him.
Run, Forrest. Run.
I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll use my magic and like pick his pocket with the invisible mage hand. Nope.
We could literally pick his brains. See if there's
We
legs in
will
it.
by the time this. Oh, hey, here.
Okay.
Slay the brain.
Initiative has been set. So first up will be Tenebris. You have a Forrest Gump man with a knife sticking in your back, and as you turn to look at it, you can see that on the crossguard of this knife is that same labyrinth symbol.
You should have just put the glove down in the beginning.
No, he would have attacked me immediately.
Exactly. We could have cut out the middle.
With all due respect, he was going to attack you anyways.
I will use. I have all my spells open on tabs, so I don't need to search them.
Gotcha.
I will cunning action disengage,
Okay.
and then I will throw a knife at draw one of my knives, throw it at him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a hit.
Plus 5. The 14 hit.
Hold on 1 second. 14 does hit. Yes.
Nice.
You do have. So is it friend within 5 feet of you or 5 feet of him?
5 feet of him.
Yeah. Well, he stabbed you at a table that both Failsafe and Slugger were both sitting at, so that does
Got
count for sneak
2
attack.
allies.
Yep. That counts for sneak attack.
So that's an extra 2d6. Yeah, 2d6. Just 7. And the initial have been 4. 14 piercing damage.
Hold on. Okay, so you disengage. You've still got that knife in your back. Actually, he let go of it when you kind of smacked him in the arm when you dashed away. And as you draw your own dagger and let it fly, it actually sticks right in his throat. He's like, I just doing my job, and he just falls over and he's dead.
Nice.
Nice.
Sneak
All right.
attack is great.
Sneak attack is very good, and he was a very low CR. All right, Slugger.
All right. So I'm on top of this table with my knives drawn.
Yeah, go
brandishing
ahead and
them.
roll perception.
Who's coming at us?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay. Hey. That's a dirty. Let's see. Dirty 22.
You can see at least 2 dudes perched like up on like windowsills with bows. One dude has a long bow and one dude has kind of crossbow. They both appear to be pointed at Tenebris.
I'll draw my own bow and shoot.
Okay. Is this going to be your Dread Ambusher attack?
What does that do again?
So on the first turn of combat, you can make an extra attack, and if that extra attack hits, it deals an extra d8 of damage.
Yes. I will do that.
All right. Any spells you want to cast? Any Zephyr Strikes or Hunter's Marks you want to do?
No.
All right.
I take it these guys aren't as strong as others. Oof. I do believe I did miss that one. That was a 5 to hit for the first one.
Yeah, 5 to hit's not quite going to do it. You let an arrow fly, and he manages to duck just behind cover, and it goes wide. Nothing too...
Do I get another shot?
No. No, you're level 3. Oh, yeah, no, you do from Dread Ambusher. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
yeah, I'm like, no, you don't. So, yeah, so this will be your normal shot, I think, if you used your Dread Ambusher shot already.
Hey, that was a nat 20.
Nat 20, yeah. So he kind of like, he misses the first shot, and he peeks back up, and you just peg him. So go ahead and roll 2d8s plus your dexterity modifier.
So, that is an 8 plus 1 plus my dex, which is 1. So 8 plus 2 is
10. 10. All right. So he like comes up to start drawing to take another shot, but you had yours ready first, and you let the second one fly, and it takes him deep in the left shoulder, but like a little down, like from the left shoulder, like not quite by the heart, but like looks bad. He stumbles back, and he opens the window behind him and like ducks into it for a second. He's not dead, but he's not looking good. It is actually that guy's turn, and he is going to make a medicine check to remove the arrow from his body and attempt to stop the bleeding so he doesn't die.
And try not to rip out his heart while taking
He
it
fails.
Oh,
He just kind of grabs the arrow and freaking yanks it, and he's like, ooh, and he's going to pass out.
Does he die? Okay, good.
Next up would have been Forrest Gump, but
He's dead.
he's dead. So it's the other bow guy.
Should've ran.
he has my jagged knife in his throat.
Yeah, it's a different bow guy. This guy has a crossbow, and he's like perched on the roof of another cafe, and he is gonna make a crossbow shot at Tenebrius. Does a 16 hit your armor class?
It does.
Very nice.
He's a child.
That will be 5 piercing damage from the crossbow bolt as it strikes you through the forearm.
So are the people in the cafe? I mean, it hasn't been.
They are rushing away. Like, this is an outdoor like patio. They are trying to run away. They're screaming and running. All right. There's actually one more rogue Just one more filthy rogue. And it's his turn next, as he, in the chaos of all the people running away, there's one person running towards you guys. And he halves the short sword and actually goes to swing at Slugger with the bow, as he realizes that might be a problem for his archer friends. And as he swings, that's actually right when you like duck down to draw another arrow. So he just like totally misses and actually swings at the neck of a running citizen.
Oops.
Which he will decapitate with his short sword as he stumbles right past you and just lops the head off of a dude who is running away.
Just turn it. Yikes.
Today was not his day.
Today was not his
Nope.
day. Failsafe.
As he does that, there's no brain. Slug.
Nope.
Dog.
You guys have seen the appearance of no
Okay.
brains.
Okay. That's the way it should be. I will spend my
Brains
bonus
in
action
place.
and cast a spell. I will cast Shield of Faith on Tenebris.
Is that a bonus action or a full action cast?
That is a bonus action.
Oh, dope.
Plus 2 AC.
To Tenebris, okay.
And then with my action, I will
Very nice.
bash the fin of the guy that just decapitated guy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit him.
And if it hits, I'll smite it. 16 hits, yeah.
16 hits, yep.
Alright.
And you're gonna smite this?
This dude's gonna be obliterated.
It's 2d8, right?
2d8 for first level smite, yeah. Plus a d8 from your
How do you
Morningstar hand.
flavor your smites?
Just wait, I got this. Nate's smites are cool.
14.
14 total. Nate, did you say, is your
Yeah.
magic yellow or is it blue?
It's like a yellow, like an orange.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you run at this guy and you close your fist, and the Morningstar spikes sprout from your knuckles, and as you rear back your it makes an awesome sound. As you rear back your arm, you can almost hear like a mechanical like expelling of steam, like a as like your hand expels steam from the front. And after it does, there's like a diffuse kind of yellow glow around your hand as it forms into like the shape of a bull's head as you uppercut him with your Morningstar, right? With the horns of this kind of glowing yellow bull. As you smack him and like throw him back, and he flips over a couple of times and splats into a wall. He has a couple of puncture wounds, but also you notice he has two really big, deep ones from those ethereal horns. And let's just say, poke the bull, you get the horns. Yeah, he's dead.
Brain? Brain?
No brain.
Anywhere brain?
No brain.
Good.
That's
All
all.
brains in place.
Nope, there's still one crossbowman.
Sure.
There's still one crossbowman, but it is Tenebris, your turn. He's pretty far away, up in a building.
How
How many
many
knives
feet?
do you have?
How many feet? I don't know, like at least 120.
Oh, what a coincidence. I'll reach into. I will reach in, pull out my spell slinger, point it at him, and cast Toll the Dead, and then just send a ringing a bell.
So here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like when you cast Hold the Dead on this thing.
Gun.
Here's how it looks. So he has to make a con save, right?
Wisdom,
Save.
though.
Yeah. Is it a wisdom save or a con save for Toll the Dead?
Wisdom.
Okay, so he makes a wisdom save. Against what's the DC?
What? He's, I think 13.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you prep the spell sling, and what it looks like is you kind of like you like get it in your hands, and you juice it with your magical powers. And what it looks like is there's two kind of like vibrating black tendrils like form from the two arms of the T back to the back of where there would normally be like a bolt, right? And the arms kind of bend as the gears on the bottom start to like turn and crank to like bend the arms. and there's like a little sphere of like, you know what Lucio's projectiles look like in Overwatch?
Yeah.
There's like a black purple one of those as it preps in the back of the Spellslinger, and you fire it at him. Unfortunately, he's succeeded his Constitution save, so he's able to like, or his Wisdom save, he's able to like duck, and
Wisdom.
like it hits the wall behind him and like bong, gong, 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 out from it, but he appears to be more confused than hurt by it.
Sound gun.
Slugger.
I'm gonna draw my arrow and try to shoot him.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
Hey, it's an 18 plus 3.
Yep,
I
that
take
hits.
it that hits.
That hits. That hits. Their AC is 12.
It's probably not gonna matter, but I want to use my
Yeah.
in the crowd.
Okay, sure.
5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. It is his turn next. And he will fire a retaliatory bolt at you, Slugger. Does a 19 hit your AC?
Yeah.
That's the wrong dice. That's a D10, not a D8. You take 9 piercing damage as he hits you right in the fleshy part of your left thigh.
Ouch.
Fail safe?
The only ranged
Should've
option
just
I have
leap at him.
is a spear.
How far can you throw the spear? He's like 120 feet away from you.
Let me strength cheese it. And...
Hold on.
The robot voice is back.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Okay. I will let you make an athletics check to try to hurl a spear 120 feet, if that's what your question is.
Just yeet the spear.
$19.
To the athletics check? Yeah, sure. It's a miracle spear. You once again you don't like spend any smites on it, but you hear kind of that mechanical whirring, and you can almost like, you can hear the cry of the bull when you throw this one.
Everything.
Yep, go ahead and roll to hit.
Amazing.
Oh, I
if you get the reach, but you still.
Yeah, no, spears normally have
It's to hit.
15?
14.
14, that hits.
So it's a D6 one-handed, D8 two-handed.
It's a D6
think,
one-handed, but you have the dueling fighting style, so one-handed is actually more efficient.
What?
I would assume you threw it one-handed.
Right, but throwing it.
I would assume throwing is one-handed.
Yeah, okay.
Because you don't
Yeah,
often see people throw a spear with 2 hands.
Okay. Well, that's damage. No. Damage.
6?
Wait, would that be Dex or Strength?
Strength.
Okay. Then yeah, 6.
6?
Yeah.
What would you say if I told you he had 6 health?
I would say,
How do you want to do this?
I hit him with a spear really hard. Can it hit his bow?
Yeah, it can.
Or his crossbow too? I'm just like,
It can. It definitely can.
it's like he was laughing because he like sees me trying to throw a spear really far, and then actually does that far, and then
All right.
Destroys
Very
him.
nice. As you guys are kind of recovering from this battle, you hear a strange noise, a noise that you're not used to hearing. You hear a bit of a scraping noise.
Oh no.
Slugger, to you it sounds like somebody dragging some kind of weapon across the cobbled streets.
Oh dear.
And out of one of
Gonna
the
wheel
side
around and see what
alleyways
it is.
wobbles out a creature. And this creature is like this short, gray creature. He looks about goblin-sized, but he's like weirdly malformed. He has like a mouth growing out of the bottom of his mouth, so he has like two mouths kinda. And he has 4 arms in his gray skin. In one arm he holds a morning star that he's dragging behind him on the ground. One arm has a shield. One arm is holding a small crossbow. And he's just this strange, hideous abomination walking out of the alley.
If this music is playing, we're. Well, maybe. No, it'll be tough.
There's only one of them. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's his turn.
Uh,
Let me reset
okay.
the initiative real quick.
Oh. Goodness. Oh, do I need to make a stealth check for my hide?
Yes, you do actually.
and you still have +2 AC.
You do. You do have +2 AC.
That'll be helpful.
He's just going to fire a crossbow. Actually, yeah.
Alright. I got 13 for stealth.
Okay.
Wait.
That's all right. He's going to load his crossbow and make an attack at Nate, just as Nate is the biggest target.
Is that a fat joke?
No, does a 17 hit your AC?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think it did. Yeah, that's okay. He'll continue walking forward as his fourth hand reaches onto his back and pulls out a spear that he will hurl at Slugger. Does a 10 hit your AC?
I don't like this thing.
Nope.
It walks forward a little more. It can't get quite to you guys, but it just kind of bangs its Morning Star on his shield a couple of times and goes.
This thing ain't natural.
No, it is not.
Top of the round, Tenebris.
Alright, have I seen anything like this before?
You know that this is not a naturally occurring creature. From your studies, you've never seen anything like this, but from what you've read, you know that this type of creature is not supposed to exist. Like it looks honestly just like somebody took two goblins and like mushed them together.
Alright. Well,
Like if you took a goblin and then you took the torso of another goblin and like
Yeah.
smashed them together.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
probably gonna try and keep the body intact. As for what I shall do, I have both my spells, but none of my spells are damage. They're all enchantment and illusion. Don't have much choice.
You could take the knife out of the guy's throat and hurl that.
I do have my short
You do have a short bow.
spells. He's not within 5 feet of Nate, right?
He is not within 5 feet of Nate, and he does see you, so you're not hidden from him.
Okay.
As the crowd has mostly left, and that was most of your cover. The rest is just crappy patio furniture, not really a good hiding spot.
I will use first my cunning at wait, how far away am I?
He's about 40 feet away from you.
Okay. In that case, I'll use my cunning action to aim. And then I'll fire from my short bow.
Okay, so roll with advantage, and advantage means sneak attack.
We're gonna need that advantage. Alright. 16 to hit.
16 just hits.
Alright. 2d6 plus another d. Wait.
Short
The
bow.
short bow?
A short bow is a d6.
Okay, I put it down as a d8 now.
Yeah, no, short bow is a d6.
plus 17 damage. I rolled pretty high. With the knife in my back.
Yeah, I'm sure that felt real good.
Yeah.
Just
So
taking that and throwing
Maybe you
that.
pop it out.
you aim your short bow carefully and actually fire it. He tries to bring his shield up to block it, but you fire it straight through his forehead, and he kind of staggers and falls over.
I'm not approaching that thing.
I'm
I am.
gonna warily.
Are any of the tables
Yeah,
knocked
I'm gonna
over?
follow fail safe. I'm gonna jump off my table and warily go towards it with my my longbow drawn and trained on it.
Yeah.
I kick it, make
Poke
sure
it
it's
with
dead.
my arrow.
It is dead.
Yeah.
It is dead.
Oh. Okay.
I look for any.
Yeah.
type
No,
of,
I
like,
played the music for him
loincloth
just
or
because he's
anything
really
that's
freaky
wearing-
and that it's what he is, but he's
Yeah.
not actually that strong.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna check him for any marks, like any cloth, anything he's wearing.
He's wearing a loincloth. And on the front of the loincloth is emblazoned that labyrinthian symbol.
I'm not
Lieutenant
going
Bruce.
to take that.
Yeah.
It's also on his shield. It's painted on this shield.
Now you should take that shield.
Yeah, so first I want to try and pull the knife.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Alright, and I will keep that. It has the symbol.
It does.
And I will look for anything else on this group of ruffians that had that as well.
All of the weapons they were carrying, short swords or daggers, they all had that logo on them.
I don't have room for all of them.
You don't. I don't expect you to pick it all up. The two archers that you find, they were wearing like cloaks, hooded cloaks, and on the back of the cloak, that logo was painted on it as well.
I'll take a cloak.
I'll take a cloak, and then if they have head out.
You seem to recall that this is not the first time you have been attacked by criminals wearing these clothing.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is two in only a few days.
Mm-hmm.
Must be onto something.
So no brain dogs have been seen.
No brain dogs have been seen.
Oh, what do you make of this? I gesture. Destroyed cafe area.
Well, there's some screwed up mages or something making these creatures, and I pick up the double goblin by the nape of the neck and toss it forward for them to see.
Could take a closer look at the thing.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check to see if you know what this is.
14? Yeah,
14. You don't know what this is, but you recall reading about a creature like this and other similar. Like you could guess that this is some kind of strange mutant creature, and you do recall reading something about weird mutant creatures living deep in the Shadow Marches.
That's where that homeless is coming from, or the traveler, whatever.
It is. How recent was that, Bob?
That body was
That was-
about a week old.
But it wasn't the first body?
No, it was not.
First body was one of the priests.
Huh.
Got the brain dog 4 days ago.
Well, somehow this thing ended up here.
Yeah.
Someone from the Shadow Marshes ended up dead. Could be a coincidence.
Could it have come here alone, or would it have to like stop and get help from some? Or...
Well, this thing doesn't seem like it could get in here pretty easily.
Sharn is not the easiest city to get into if you're not
Yeah.
for creatures like this. You could guess that he
Someone
probably
brought it.
didn't come here just for this. Weirdly, even though they wear like the same symbol, you're not even sure just from looking like those guys. Like they were planning on killing you, but you notice that this creature wasn't interested in exclusively attacking you, Tenebris, like they all were. It was just
Right.
kind of rampaging.
These could be somewhat unrelated.
But they do have the same symbol on them, so they're clearly related somehow, but they might not be very closely related.
We should
It may be
follow
like a
his
thing where they
tracks
just like
back where
release
he
the
came
hound
from.
instead of attack.
I suggest we abandon the brain.
Best to deal with the matter at hand, I suppose.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start looking around, try to find tracks of where it came from.
Okay, this guy, he was dragging his Morning Star behind him, so it's actually relatively easy to track where he was going. Also, Jonah, I've been shafting you. I'm sorry. Whenever you roll a survival check, remember that you get to add a D4 to that
Oh.
because of your
Ooh.
dragon mark.
Okay.
It's like the whole.
The whole
That's
point of your
survival check?
dragon mark. Yeah, whenever you roll a D4, you get to add or whenever you roll a survival check, or I think a perception check. What up, Sebastian? Do I have like spooky tracking music? I don't know if this will work at all, but you know, we'll give it a try. Is Sebastian working for you guys? Wait, what is up with my Discord? Hello? What the heck? Okay, that was weird. My sound just cut out for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
Huh.
I didn't hear you, Caleb. But I hear you now.
Gotcha. Well, it's not the spookiest tracking music I could get, but you know what?
It'll work.
I dropped the ball on my music planning for this session, so...
So where's this path lead us?
So it's leading down lower into Lower Dura. As you look around, it's leading actually towards the Fallen District.
Hmm.
You guys remember anything about the Fallen District when I talked about it for like 5 minutes earlier?
It's where the temples are
Yes,
coming
all the
from.
old temples kind of destroyed.
Yes.
It fell.
DM hint, if I talk about a district of the city for like 5 minutes straight, it's probably important.
All right, boys, back up to the holy.
So, would there be any church, like, any, like, church or temple keep, like, a pet brain plug?
Pet brain slug from a church or a temple?
Because, like,
Are there any brain churches?
Fallen District went boom. Everybody moved a hill.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if they, like, took him and they got, like, freed or something. Because it started in the church.
I will look just for you, Nate.
Any
At religion.
aberrant religions in Charm.
Religion? No. Cult?
What about laboratories?
Perhaps.
Oh, a cult. My
Yes.
favorite.
Cults
This
are cool.
isn't really a religion.
You can make a religion out of this.
Yeah, there's not really a religion for brain dogs that eat people's brains. Who would have thought, right? Uh, hold on. Un momento, por favor. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys are? Do you head towards the Fallen District? Is that where you're heading?
Following the
yeah.
tracks.
Yeah, if that's where the path leads.
All right. All right. One second. Sorry. I gotta flip back to my page with all the districts. Okay, so you can see a lot of broken shrines and temples here. Hold on, I'm gonna have to edit this out in post, but just I have to look at music for a second.
You can get the sleuthy music.
No, I don't need sleuthy music. I need creepy music.
Spooky.
Oh, yep, that'll work. That'll work. Okay. Sorry about that. All right.
This is where you'll cut back. Woo. Maybe. Not yet. Music reminds me of Ape Escape. Brain Escape. There we go. Now's where you'll cut back to, Caleb.
It is. Thank you, future past me. All right. Okay. So you guys head around the Fallen District, and you can see there's just broken down buildings and shrines. You see a couple of logos that you recognize. You recognize, of course, the emblem of the Sovereign Host. You can see a large, cracked cast iron brazier that would have once held a silver flame. You can see temples actually to all religions here. Even you recognize, for those of you who are more, I guess, Nate, you probably wouldn't really know much about this, but I guess Tenebris, you probably would. You can see an emblem that appears to belong to the Dark Six. You see the Blood of Voles has some representation here, even. And there's a strange symbol that you're not entirely familiar with. That is kind of like a dragon's head made of like these coily black tendrils.
Sounds necrotic
Interesting.
and maybe aberrant. Because
Exactly. How many people are here?
No
Any?
one. It's like a ghost town.
No lights from inside the temples or
Nope.
anything?
It's all shut down.
Where does the trail lead?
The trail leads actually past one of the temples to like behind it.
Shall we go?
yes.
This time I want to draw my raid.
Okay. You go behind the temple that has that kind of coily dragon's head on it, and behind that temple is like a cellar door, but like one of the halves of the cellar door has been broken off of its hinges, and there's like a broken padlock on the ground.
I warily go inside with my knives drawn.
All right. You guys follow down.
Cautiously, but interested, yes.
As you guys traverse
Yeah.
further into the darkness, ready to investigate this strange creature's appearance, that is where we're going to end the episode.
Here we go!